Hey, what's up guys, Nils here, welcome back to another video. So with the second update of Anime Warriors, we had yet again another sort of dungeon rework. So as you guys probably notice, the dungeon here on the right side of the screen has been actually renamed to Insane from Challenging, and there have been actually some big dungeon changes as well. Now, as you guys probably know, beginner dungeon used to go up to room 50 and then transitioned over to Insane or Challenging as it used to be called. And quite actually, on the launch of the game, like on the release, Challenging was pretty easy. Like back then, I got actually carried to room 50 of Challenging dungeon from Liam and Toad combined, and I got the extra fighter. That's why I have an extra fighter compared to you guys. So what they did this time around, besides like buffing the dungeon on the previous like update, they completely shifted it up. So basically now they combined these two dungeons together, Challenging and Beginner, and Beginner dungeon goes up to room 100, and then you have like Insane, which is a completely different dungeon. So now in the Beginner we have like extra egg. You see here room 25, room 75, which basically was 25 Challenging before. Then we have extra fighter as well. See here extra equipped. 100 beginner dungeon and 15 beginner dungeon. So they basically just combined those two, they made them beginner, and then they also dropped Insane dungeon as well, where we actually get some new auras and passives, if you want to call them. I don't know, they're called auras in the game. We're going to talk about them in a little bit, but before that, I actually want to tell you a little bit, guys, about how many shards you can actually farm out of a 100 room beginner dungeon. Now I have done a couple of runs and I have pinpointed the number to somewhere between 80 to 100. It kind of varies. Also, just for context, we have these quests right here that was added with this update. So you see you have to like kill X amount of every single mob on a map to increase boss drops. Now how does that tie into the dungeon? Basically every dungeon has their bosses, right? So you essentially farm more shards from the bosses in the dungeon. So I would highly advise you to guys slowly like start working on those quests for every map. I don't really have them. I only have Hero City quest completed, as you guys can see right here. And yeah, so I farm somewhere between 80 to 100. It's kind of RGs, it varies. But yeah, that's pretty much the number that we're playing. Still, I would say not too bad, but I guess if you actually finish all the quests, it should be okay. You should be getting at least one ticket every run. A run takes about 17 minutes on average, I would say. So I'll play a clip here as well, so you guys can see how long it actually takes me and how many drops I get. And after that, we're going to talk about a little bit about the Insane dungeon. Alright, so that was pretty much it for the beginner dungeon. There is literally nothing else. Pretty straightforward. Now, one thing that they did change with the dungeon, which I don't like at all, is actually the scaling per players. Now, every time more players join the dungeon, the HP of the mobs scales, and it really does scale up by a lot. So here's two pictures for reference. One of them is when I am alone in the dungeon, and one of them is when like another person was in a server that just tagged along with me. Now I know that the units are different, but I don't think that matters. This is basically the strong mob on room 100, and as you can see, like the HP is doubled from 1 to 2 people. I don't know if that carries over consistently, like from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, if it's 100% increase every single time, but from 1 to 2 it is 100% increase. And yeah, I think that's way too much. I don't know. I think that's just way too much. But yeah, anyway, so let's jump into the Insane dungeon, where I'm actually really curious if we can do room 25 to get the first aura. Because yeah, I don't know how much the scaling goes in the Insane dungeon. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna try to run it, and I guess we'll see how the scaling is. Alright guys, so there you have it. We actually managed to complete room 25 of Insane Trial. I would say pretty close. We had 37 seconds to spare. Not like super tight by a long shot, but still, like, I think it will be impossible to carry somebody at this point with my current power. Now, just for reference, my current DPC is 2 million, as you guys can see. So I would say that you need around 1.6 million DPC maybe in order to actually be able to clear room 25. I think that's something around that. I didn't actually do the math, just real quick, just trying to like pinpoint a number. So I think that's a fair assumption. And once you actually complete it, you can come here to the Destroyer, aka Beerus, and that's where you actually equip your aura. And there you go. You see here, we are a little bit shiny, kind of on fire. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And that is your aura. So obviously 50, 75, 100 for the next auras, and that should be pretty much it regarding the complete like dungeon overhaul and what's going on here. Actually, did I show the stats? I didn't. Can talk a little bit about that. So 10% damage and 10%. I guess that's movement speed. I don't really think that's attack speed. That's what we're getting out of this aura. Not the best, but the next auras are actually so much better and so much stronger. I can just give you a reference of what they actually do. Let me just scroll up real quick here. So next up at room 50 we have Flame Rage. So I assume that's like some sort of a fiery aura. 10% speed, 12.5% warrior damage, so 2.5% more damage, and 2.5% yen. I mean, it's a little bit better, but nothing insane, right? So at level 75 we have Nature Air. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit better. We have 2.5% drops increases, which is pretty big, I would say. Like extra drops, really good. We have 15% speed, 15% damage, and 5% yen. And at room 100, obviously, is where the aura just becomes absolutely insane. 5% extra drops, 17.5 speed, 17.5% damage, 5% warrior speed, so your units run faster as well, and 7.5x yen. Although that is going to take quite a while until we actually get to room 100. Nonetheless, 25. Okay, let's cop another ticket as well right here. But yeah, anyway, that was pretty much it for this video, guys. There's nothing else. I think we covered everything regarding to the dungeon overhaul. And yep, as always, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to click the like and subscribe button down below. And I'll see you guys all on the next one. Take care.